You can never replace someone like Ray. Very passionate, very has a lot of fire about the game.
Whether he's on the field or off the field, you know, he's always that leader that's ready to go. I mean, he's that guy.
There's no person ever played with me that can ever tell you I took the playoff. That's the only reward that we can die with, is that.
Our special guest joins us here at the lunch table, analyst Ray Lewis. So good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
How you doing, Ray? I won't say inside joke.
These two have a history. He is, you know, the two-time Super Bowl champion and 13-time Pro Bowler. He left the game on the top, as everybody wants to do. And now he has a book out, and it's fantastic. I Feel Like Going On. It's just been released, and it's a very good read. You know, we know your story's ending. Everybody saw that. Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was surprised to learn that Ray Lewis, it's not your mother's name or your father's name.
Yeah. It's interesting, man, because, you know, my mom had me at 15. And, you know, once you get into the book, I think people will really be, like, captivated on how the story was created behind Ray Lewis, right? My father left the day I was born, sitting in the incubator. Mom was 15, had me. And she knew this friend who was in the military by the name of Ray Lewis. And she asked him, she said, would you come do me a favor? Would you sign as my son's father? And he came and did it. So 11th grade, right, my biological father had sent papers to have my name changed. But I didn't really know who he was, so I burnt the papers like I would never freaking walk in his name, no way.
Yeah.
And then I met Ray Lewis, and I'm like,
Your namesake.
Yeah, and I walked up to him and I was like, nice to meet you, and I promise to make your name great. And so that was the only time I've ever met Ray Lewis.
You've never met it? You never talked to him after that?
No, never talked to him after that. One time. And from that point, man, I just, the name for me was what I wanted. I really wanted to make that my staple, right? So from a child, that was like, ooh, I want to do it so bad because, like, you walked out on me and I'm going to prove to you. And I was bitter. I was really bitter as a kid. And, you know, now as a man, me and my father are real friends, real good friends. But it was then that was one of the motivating pieces for me.
So, was it rage?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Abandoned at birth by your biological father, abused by a man who had come into your mother's life later. And that brings us to this.
Yeah.
It's a deck of playing cards to us.
Yeah.
But what do you think of when you see a deck of cards? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, you know what this does for me is this made me realize that no pain lasts always. No pain. So when I used to watch my mom is a very high yellow woman, right? And I won't go there because, you know, a kid never forget what they learn. And my mom used to have black eyes, and I used to be so enraged, like, how do I stop that? Like, how do I stop somebody from putting their hands on my mom? So I started going to my room, and I would take a deck of cards, and I would be crying, and I would be going through it, and I would take a deck, and if I pull a joker, I do 50.
Push-ups?
Yeah, 50 push-ups. I do a push, ace, king, or queen, I do 10. 7, 8, 9, you do whatever. Go through the whole deck. Reshuffle them again, do sit-ups. Reshuffle them again, do push-ups.
Trying to get strong, why?
Absolutely, because I wanted to make sure a man never touched my mom again. That was my whole motivation. It was never about sports. Sports was after. When as a child you see this and you keep asking yourself, like, Mom, like, why do you keep going through this? Like, Mom, why you keep letting people put their hands on you? And she was like, I have no choice.
Yeah.
I got to take care of you guys. And so my choice was, as a kid, okay, then I'm putting everything else aside. I'm going to make sure I help you. Yeah.
Oddly enough, you write that your finest moment as an athlete didn't come on the football field. I was surprised by that.
No.
Where did it come?
The wrestling mat.
Why was that so important?
Because my father, in 1975, my father was...
Your birth father?
Yes, the year I was born. He was probably the most dominant wrestler that the state of Florida probably ever seen. He was just that dominant. He had every record there was to have. And I'm wrestling my first year, 1993, and this coach, he's home now in heaven, Tober Bain, walked up to me. He handed me a piece of paper. He said, a book. He said, look at this. And the book was 1975. And I opened up the
school's yearbook.
Yeah, and I opened up the school yearbook, and the first thing I see is my father's face. And I'm like, wow. And up under his name is every record. And I'm like, ooh, I got something else. like, I'm going to shatter his name. I'm going to remove his name. And I went at it sophomore year, got 4th in state. Second year, got second in state.
And that was just the first year to ever
That was
wrestle.
the first year I ever touched the mat. And I went straight to the States. Got to second year, lost by 1 point. And my last year, in the finals. And my last year, I said, I'm finishing it. And there had never been a state champ at our high school, ever.
And you were wrestling up.
Yeah. I was
20
wrestling about
pounds?
Yeah. And my original weight was 189, but I was wrestling like 220. Like, I was going after really, like, heavy people so I can really get in the groove. So when I got back to the state finals, it was 189. And, man, I'm telling you, Kwame King, Raymond King, rest in peace, his girl and his sister Mira, all 4 of them was on the front row of that thing. And I looked up and I said, man, if I complete this, if I finish this, I erase his name forever. And that was my whole mentality. And so that's why,
and you did
honestly, when my hand was raised, I said, wow, I've done something that's never been done.
Ray, let's talk about chapter 9
Yeah.
in the book, simply titled Atlanta.
Yeah.